Hi, I'm Haley, and I'm here to summarize chapters 11 through 13 of Mark Twain's Huckleberry Finn. In chapter 11, Huck goes into town dressed as a girl, and a woman takes him into her house, and he tells her that his name is Sarah Williams from Hookerville. Now, Huck's murder is brought up, and apparently Pap and Jim are the main suspects since Jim ran away the same day of his murder, and Pap spent the judge's money that was supposed to be used to find Jim on alcohol, like no surprise. And Pap apparently left town, and there's a bounty for him and Jim's capture. Later in chapter 11, the woman housing Huck grows suspicious that he's actually a guy. So she asks him what his name is again, and he accidentally says Mary Williams instead of Sarah Williams. So he tries to cover up by saying his full name is Sarah Mary Williams. So after that, she puts him through some other tests, and he finally reveals his male identity as George Peters, as a runaway apprentice from a mean farmer. After that, she tests him on farming and questions him, and she's satisfied with all his answers. So after that, he goes to Jackson Island to go warn Jim that they must leave so that her husband won't kill Jim. So they build a decoy campfire in a cave, and they leave on a raft that appeared after the flood. At the beginning of chapter 12, Huck and Finn drift down the river for days, hiding by day and traveling by night so they won't be seen. They start to hunt, steal, and buy things that they need, but they sort of feel guilty about stealing, so they get rid of some of their property so that as a sort of a moral sacrifice, so they don't feel as guilty. On a stormy night, they pass a wrecked steamboat, and against Jim's better judgment, Huck convinces him to go explore the steamboat with him. Huck overhears two robbers threatening a third to kill him so that he won't snitch on them. The robbers decide to leave the third to drown in the wreck, and Huck says that they must cut the robbers' boat loose so that they can't escape. Jim says, though, that their boat has floated away. In chapter 13, the robbers put their stolen goods in the boat but go back to get more. Jim and Huck sneak off with the boat, but Huck feels bad, so after they're a couple hundred feet away, they go to shore to get help. On land, Huck finds a ferryman to go help his family who were trapped on the wrecked steamboat called the Walter Scott. He invents an elaborate story about how they got into the wreck, and so he convinces the ferryman to go rescue them. He feels good about his good deed and thinks that Widow Douglas would have approved since she gets involved with deadbeats. They sink the robbers' boat and go to sleep. The robbers didn't survive the wreck.